videoing now. Yes, it looks like we're videoing. So we just hiked the Wild Azalea Trail, and we just left, and we're still in Louisiana, but this is kind of like our, people are driving crazy. This is our post-hike debriefing, and so it's me and Ruthie and then Jimmy. And we did not see any wild horses, but we saw evidence of wild horses. That we did something that was kind of significant is Jimmy noticed that there were freshwater mussels in the creek, and he pulled a couple out, and I think he would say he shucked them. You know, he took them out of the shells, and we roasted a mussel over our campfire, sprinkled a little salt on it, and ate them up. And I was pretty happy with that. Like, it was kind of tasty, crisp on the outside, squishy on the inside. But I thought that was cool. And we were out. We arrived here Monday evening, and then we camped right outside of our cars. And then we hit the trail on Tuesday, and then we've been on the trail since then. Today is Saturday, and we got back to our cars just before noon, and we're headed home. Well, it's about 11. It's 11:28 right now. So it was a first for a lot of us. I've done a lot of overnight backpacking, but this was the first multi-day trip. And my own experience of it was kind of like this. There was a lot of anticipation for me. Like, I had thought about this trip throughout the year, and I made my own pack. I made other gear. And in fact, I made 3 packs. Well, 4 packs. This is one of them. But I bought a down quilt, so I invested into this trip, you know, kind of financially in a significant way. And then did a lot of just experimenting and watching YouTube videos and going out into the woods and sleeping and seeing how it went and adjusting things and so forth. And then as we got closer, I started to kind of wonder how this is an unknown when it comes to me physically. Like, would something, creep up on me that would keep me from finishing it? And the first couple of days seemed kind of precarious to me. Like, there'd be this pain or that pain, and I didn't know, how that was going to turn out. But I'm very thankful that nothing became too serious, and I worked through different things, and I'm just really happy to be able to complete it. So it was a very good experience. All right, so I'm going to let Ruthie talk a little bit about what her experience on the trail was like. Just anything she wants to say. It can be short or long, but Ruthie, handing it over to you.
We went about 42 miles, so that puts us at about a little over 9 miles averaging a day, not counting the last day because we did about 5 miles today. I don't know. It was the first time I've done a backpacking trip this long, and that's all I have to say.
All right, thank you. Okay, now I'm going to hand it over to Jimmy in the back seat for any comments he might have. Jimmy, take it away.
I don't know. I got Spanish moss.
Spanish moss on his hat.
Try to keep it alive.
His souvenir.
I gotta try to keep it alive on my hat.
On his hat. All right. Anything you would do different next time, Jimmy? Or
I might get a better backpack.
better backpack?
Maybe bring a little bit of healthier food, maybe to go along with all the junk food.
Yeah. Something else besides Fruit Loops. No, I'm just teasing.
A lot of other things.
He had a lot of other things besides Fruit Loops.
Trail mix and
Right, trail mix.
a lot of things, but no like vegetables or. Ruthie gave me some mashed potatoes, and those are really good.
Right. And
I learned that I eat smaller portions than like hungry hikers who do through hikes and stuff, and like, yeah. So it's not like I can eat that like a whole lot at one time. Still, it's just like
yeah.
So I ended up giving Jimmy a lot of my leftovers.
That was very helpful. I did bring ramen noodles and mac and cheese though for my dinners.
Yeah.
So I had that. I had enough food, just not enough like good food.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of things, just little details that I learned, things I would do differently next time. And there was a lot of time of just thinking, hiking just simplifies life so much because you don't got much to do except just to hike and, stop to sleep and eat, drink, and stuff. So life gets really simple and in a kind of a nice way. So I enjoyed getting up in the morning and having a little bit of espresso. And espresso is worth the wait. Was considering just bringing instant coffee, but I'm very glad that I brought pre-made a little bit of espresso and brought that, so I had a little bit each morning. But any thoughts from you guys about just times of contemplation and anything that you want to share about that?
I liked the trail, so we did one trail to get from the Kincaid Trail to get back to the Wild Azalea Trail. It's the Azalea Spur Trail, and I liked it because I felt like it was a metaphor about life, because I was in the head and I could not see the trail past like 5 to 10 feet, and it looked like it just ended. But I had to just keep walking a few more steps, and then I could see where the trail was going. So I like that.
Wow. No, but I didn't. That's pretty profound. Anything from back there in the back seat, Jimmy? We did listen to a chapter of Luke each night, and we went through some discussion questions. I enjoyed that, and I learned things through that. Though a lot of times, like in the Bible, it's not like learning new things. It's more of being reminded of things and learning them in a new experiential way. The first night was on repentance. It was John the Baptist preaching repentance, and that's what it seems to be as I've been reading different places in the New Testament, like what we have in Jesus, that repentance is granted to us, and it's a very good thing. So anyway, but yeah, there's things that I thought about, and don't have any like metaphors or anything, but anyway, I guess I'll just share one thing that I thought about, and then we'll wrap up. But You know, out in creation, in the world, one thing that you just see is that the world is wonderful. You look around, you see the mussels, the creeks, the trees, the sky, the moon, the sun. The world is wonderful. And the little ants that were cutting up leaves and taking them and doing with them whatever they do. Seeing the reflection of spiders' eyes at nighttime from your light. But the world sure seems impersonable. Things are born, you live, you die, and the world, as wonderful it is, just goes on. But I also thought, here we're kind of nearing Christmas time, that God has spoken. And I was reminded of, I think it's just right there at the beginning of Hebrews, that God's spoken in various ways at various times through prophets and so forth. But in these latter days, it said He has spoken to us through a Son, and referring to Jesus. So God has spoken also through the times of experiencing Him, we can all think of lives that have been changed, including my own. It seems that that was an experience with God. That's how I think of it. So God has spoken, and He is good. I think that's going to be on my Christmas cards this year. God has spoken, and He is good. So with that, I will wrap up, and we will continue on our way home. So best to you. Goodbye.